This is your Bible Geeks Daily Download, Death Déjà Vu.
Have you ever experienced déjà vu? That sinking feeling like you've already seen or experienced something before? If so, Jesus' words about what happens after we die should resonate even more loudly for you. As he concludes his words to the church in Smyrna, Jesus encourages them to be faithful unto death, despite their current sufferings and persecutions. Death can seem so final, like the finish line at the end of the race, but he goes on to say that death isn't actually the end.
The one who conquers will not be hurt by the second death. Revelation 2, verse 11. So wait a minute. There are two deaths? According to Jesus, that's exactly what we should expect. So let's break it down. So there's the first death. Chances are we've all experienced the death of someone close to us. We've mourned their loss and remembered their lives. But their passing also helps us to focus on our mortality. As Solomon famously said, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For this is the end of all mankind, and the living will lay it to heart." Ecclesiastes 7, verse 2. Death is coming, an inescapable event we're each going to face, unless the Lord comes again first. Hebrews 9, verse 27. But the end of our earthly life isn't really the end.
There's also the second death. We only find this term, second death, in Revelation. But this isn't the first time Jesus brought up the idea. He once told the Pharisees, "An hour is coming when all who are in the tombs will hear his voice and come out, those who have done good to the resurrection of life, and those who have done evil to the resurrection of judgment." John 5, 28-29. So those evildoers who died will be raised to face judgment, and rather than experiencing life, they'll experience death again. As scary as the first death might seem, we ought to be even more frightened by the possibility of dying again. So what can we do to avoid a death déjà vu?
The short answer: don't practice evil. God spells out some of the sinful behaviors that leads to the second death in Revelation 21, verse 8, as he says, "But as for the cowardly, the faithless, the detestable, as for murderers, the sexually immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars, their portion will be in the lake that burns with fire and sulfur, which is the second death." If you want to know whether or not you're destined for the resurrection of life or of judgment, look no further than your own life. May we all seriously think about our final destination today and find the strength to overcome through Jesus' promise to keep us from being hurt again by death. Thanks for tuning in, and may the Lord bless you and keep you today.
Shalom.